Hey there, welcome back to another Minifig Monday. This one is another villain. We haven't done a villain in a little bit. This is the Vampire Knight from series 25. So very recent. This figure is fantastic. Um, yeah, he's on most people's first list, first spot on the list, and it's not hard to see why. Um, Here's a 360 degree of the Vampire Knight. This one is really awesome. Um, it's probably the most different knight that I have. He's like a straight up bad guy. He's a villain. There is no denying this guy is bad news. Um, yeah, he's he's a bad guy. It's pretty obvious. Um, Sorry, his axe is in his face. It's a big piece. It's hard to see his helmet, but there he is, looking super evil. And yeah, it's really great. Let's talk about his accessories first. One of them is a light gray shield, oval design. It's not a new piece, but it is a new print showing the Fright Knights logo, which is really cool. And speaking of Fright Knights, I do have the Fright Knight. This is a Series 19 figure from 2019. And this figure is really awesome. You can see they have the same exact emblem. That's a bit curious. I think these two figures are connected. This is a Ghost Knight. So this is a spectral design, which is unique. So that's cool. We already did a video on this one though, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail. But apparently, this is Basil the Batlord, which is apparently one of the most evil figures in LEGO history. From what I heard, from what I gathered, that's this guy. And you'll know once I start taking some stuff off. But anyway, here's the shield. It's very nice print, very nice quality. It looks great with the rivets and the bat logo. Not Batman, but you know what I mean. And I think this is actually more interesting. This is an axe, and it's really cool. It's got like a couple of translucent red blades, and it's got like an arrow piece and a new bar piece, which I always like to get those. And it's sweet. I love this thing. It's really cool. It's very different. I don't have a knight with an axe, so that's new. So, okay, that's cool. They're still shaking things up, and something you build. So that's great. I like this a lot. In fact, it might be my favorite part. There's a lot of cool parts with this one. Let me take off some stuff so you can see the detail. And he does have a cape. The cape is interesting. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's very interesting. The detail is amazing, as you would expect in 2024. It's got the red look with a lot of like diamonds and gold. Very cool. It seems to be going for this almost Transylvanian Gothic old school horror type of look, which I think the Fright Nights theme from back in LEGO's olden days, I think it was the 90s. I don't remember. I don't know specifically, but I know that this theme was like inspired by like old horror movies. So that's probably what they're going for. It looks great. It has a simple look, but it looks very nice. He's got like a skirt with more of these gold diamonds with some little texturing. The legs are dual molded. That's always nice to see in a figure. Back printing as well. Dark gray on the top, black on the bottom for the boots. And you can see the back printing is pretty much the same as the front. It's not that different, but it looks very consistent, which is good. There's the cape. We'll talk about that later. And the arms are printed. That's always really amazing to see. They're starting to do arm printing a lot more, which is great because when I was a kid, they didn't do that at all. So, yeah, now it's getting more common. So that's great. You can see just more detail with the, shoulder straps and, dark gray arm with the black, shoulder straps. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty good. Looks very nice. The helmet, I believe the helmet is new. I think the helmet is a new piece. I think it's supposed to be like a updated version of the Fright Nights helmets from the 90s. I don't know a lot about this theme. I'm just speculating from reviews that I've seen and like people's reaction to this figure, which is very positive. In fact, I don't think there's anything bad with this figure, like at all. And I was really excited to get him, and when I got him, I was not disappointed. Um, yeah, $5, it's pretty good price. There's a lot to this one. Um, Actually, I might talk about the cape before I talk about the helmet. The cape is very interesting. The reason I say that is because this is a vinyl piece. At least I'm pretty sure, because I can feel it. I don't have any cape, any Lego cape that feels like this. It's a very specific vinyl cut version. And it looks great. You can see the Fright Nights logo once again on the back printed. But then we've got these light, like sand red spikes on the bottom with the spikes of the cape. And it's just great looking, you know? It's very nice. And it's very distinctive. You know, you're looking at him from the back and you're like, oh, I don't want to mess with this guy. And yeah, he's a bad guy, so he's got to have a cape, right? You know, every villain has a cape, pretty much. And sometimes it doesn't end well for them. Syndrome, we're looking at you. But yeah, the helmet looks especially amazing from this angle. And speaking of that, let's talk about that. The helmet is amazing. This is a new, I don't think it's rubber, but it's hard to explain. The wings are slightly flexible, but the helmet itself is hard plastic, but you can bend it a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how it feels to me. You've got 2 holes for the eyes. You've got this really... My favorite part of this helmet is actually the line that goes all the way from the front of the helmet to the back. And it's just so simple, but it works so well. It's in black, obviously. It reminds me of Thor a little bit because of the wings on the helmet, but it's obviously not that. And the bat wings look great. And it even looks cool without anyone in it, you know? Works pretty well. The helmet is just, it's very cool. If it's not a new piece, you can correct me. But I'm 90% sure it's new and updated, which is just really cool to me. And the face, when I first saw the face of this figure, I was taken aback because this is a mustache vampire. And it's interesting. It's different. Again, we're playing with the formula. It's not, you know, the same thing, which is cool. And it's really interesting. Again, I think this is Basil the Batlord updated, which is really cool. And he's back, which is really nice. I like the smile. I like the big old mustache. That's the best part with the red eyes. And what I find really interesting is the 2 faces, actually, you can change the look of the helmet when you put it on him, depending on the face that you choose. So, for example, this face has the smirk. You can notice the dark gray eyeshadow. And if you put the helmet on, he's got the red eyes, but he's also got the gray around the eyes. So it acts like shadow, which is really cool. And his alternate face is very interesting. You can see him, I think he's like activating a spell or something, and he's more confident. You can see he's got the smile, he's got the laugh, and you can see more of his teeth, and he seems to be doing something with his eyes. So it's like magic, like maybe turning someone to stone, a very Dracula-esque design. And if you put the helmet on this face, he has red shadow around the red eyes. So it's really cool. You can like change the look of the helmet depending on which face you use, which is just a really cool touch. I tried to find a proper hairpiece I tried to find the Wolverine hair to put on him, but I couldn't find it. That's probably the perfect hair, is the Peter Venkman hair in black. That one is probably the perfect hair. If you don't want to put the helmet on, that's probably the perfect way to go. But you could do it whatever black hair piece you want. It pretty much doesn't matter. I'm gonna switch out the face just to have a different look for him with the red on the red. It's just really cool. I like the way the eyes peer from the helmet. It's just so menacing, you know? Especially for a knight. They've done a bunch of these evil knights in the past. I think this is by far the best one, just because it's an actual character from LEGO's history. They don't say it's Basil the Bat Lord, but you know it is, because all these fans are coming out and saying, oh yeah, it's him. It's definitely him. And I did a bit of research, and yeah, they're right. It's him. And it's really cool to see someone, you know, vintage like this coming back. And yeah, with all my other knights, he's probably going to scare him away, because he's just that scary looking. And we've got a ghost knight as well, just sitting there haunting the wall. So yeah, speaking of the ghost, the fright knight, these two go really well together because they both look Victorian, very gothic, very evil, and they have the same exact logo, so I'm assuming that this fright knight is a henchman of this knight. So that's kind of cool that they're bringing, you know, some of these knights back, and I don't know, it's just a really awesome figure. For $5, absolutely. Absolutely worth it. The new vinyl cut of cape is great, and the new helmet's great, and the axe especially is really creative. And I'm a big fan of this. I have no issues with it at all. So yeah, top of the list. And when I saw Series 25, I'm like, you know, some pretty good figures in. And then I saw this knight, I'm like, oh, I need that. I need that. And absolutely worth the money, even if I got it for free, which is, I still would have paid for it. So yeah, excellent edition, unique version of a knight, and it is a character, a villain from the past, Basil the Bat Lord. So that is definitely interesting that they decided to bring it back. But let me know what you think. Do you like this knight the best? What are your thoughts on Series 25? And what's your favorite CMF knight figure? Mine is probably the Tournament Knight. I love it so much. The only thing I don't like is the helmet color, but yeah. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, good or bad. And yeah, I'll see you for the next video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of it. Hope I showed you everything you wanted to see. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.